Hey, Dr. Lori Puskar here. So we're giving you weight loss tips, and this video is to give you the next tip. And just kind of hold on to your seat when I give you this one. The tip is eat what you want, when you want. And everybody watching is like, woohoo! Thanks, Dr. Lori. You're the best doctor ever. Finally, I just get to go and have whatever I want, and it's a party. And it's kind of not exactly. Though that statement is true, there's also a few caveats and a little bit of a learning lesson with your body that you're going to be going through. So let's just reiterate, it's definitely eating what you want when you want it, but you have to start listening to your body and giving it what it wants. And so much eating is done by eating what's there, or what's convenient, or someone prepared for you, or what's cheap. So this actually isn't as easy as it sounds. So let's say, for example, it's breakfast. And according to whomever you're listening to, there's what you're supposed to eat for breakfast. And you look in the refrigerator and you're like, well, I just don't want to eat anything in there. And you're thinking to yourself, it's like, you know what I could really go for is a raspberry yogurt. Well, guess what you should have for breakfast? A raspberry yogurt. Now, what we do is like, oh, well, I don't have any yogurt, so I'll have cereal instead. Or I don't have raspberry yogurt, I only have orange flavored yogurt, or whatever the case may be. And even those slightest differences is not going to satisfy or gratify the body. Because for whatever reason, and we're not going to go into in this video, but there is a reason, your body's saying, I want yogurt and I want raspberry specifically. Because how do you get in your trouble with overeating and then gaining weight? Well, let's say you go in again, you want a raspberry yogurt, you don't have one. So then you're like, okay, well, what else do I have in here that I can eat instead? And well, people are telling me eggs are good, so I'll have 2 scrambled eggs and a piece of toast. And you're like, and so you ate that breakfast and then you go on with your day. Well, not only were you not happy with that breakfast, guess who or what else wasn't happy with that breakfast? Your body. It's like, okay, thanks. We didn't ask for eggs and toast, but I guess thank you. And when you give your body food it doesn't want, guess what it does with it? You would think it would like break it down calorie-wise and excrete it. But when you give somebody something they don't want, what do they tend to do with it? A kid. Say you give him a toy he doesn't want, he goes and like hides it in the closet and never plays with it. Well, your body, in a very silly way, but serious way, does the same thing. It's like, okay, thanks for the eggs and toast, and then go hides it in the closet. And then where's the closet in you? Your fat cells. So it just goes hides it. Because whatever nutrition, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, who knows what, something in yogurt and something in raspberry yogurt specifically, the body's like, hey, we're a little bit deficient over here, and let's call up to the brain and say, hey, crave a raspberry yogurt, and you eat not the raspberry yogurt. Another example is dinner time. Let's say dinner comes around and you're not even hungry. This is the second part of this. It's not only eating what you want, it's eating what you want when you want it. So if you get home and you're eating by the clock and it's at 5:30, you walk in the door and dinner's sitting there, and or you make dinner and then you sit down and eat it. Did you ever actually think to yourself, it's like, I wasn't even hungry and I didn't even want that, but yet you ate it anyway? Well, that's violating eating what you want when you want it. So if you come home and it's 5:30 and somebody made a beautiful roast and potatoes and carrots for dinner and you're like, wow, that looks beautiful, but I don't want any right now, just skip it. Just don't eat it then. Then you have to wait, whether it's a half hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long, when your body's finally like, hey, you know what, we could actually go for some of that pot roast and potatoes and carrots now. Then go, if it got cold, go warm it up and have it when you want it. Or let's say even within that meal, let's say you have the pot roast, the potatoes, and the carrots, and you're looking at it and you're like, I just don't really want the carrots. So pick out the carrots. You know, people talk about people being picky eaters. That's not being a picky eater. That's actually being a smart eater and eating what your body's telling you to eat. Because there is a communication system down in there that if you actually listen to it, will help you lose weight and keep you thin. The key is you have to go, number 1, and tap into that communication system. Number 2, listen to what the communication is telling you. And 3, actually do what the communication was. So you get home and the body's like, hey, we don't want pot roast and carrots and potatoes right now. So fine, go do something, read a book, check your emails, whatever you do. And then about 2 to 3 hours later, the brain's sitting there while you're reading your book or whatever, and is like, hey, guess what? You know, we're ready for that pot roast and carrots and potatoes now. But by the way, I just want some pot roast and potatoes. I don't want any of those carrots. I'm like, okay, skip the carrots. And then let's say 2 hours later, you're hungry again. Great. Remember, eating what you want, when you want it. So you ate and the body's like, hey, we're still hungry, we need more. Now, it might not even be craving that food item, and it's only 2 hours later. What do? You argue, no, I just ate, I shouldn't be hungry. If I eat again, I'm going to get fat and gain more weight and blah, blah, blah. Again, not listening to the body. Eating what you want, when you want it. So 2 hours later, even after your good pot roast dinner, the body's like, hey, you know what? We're still hungry. First thing is great, acknowledging that the body is telling you, hey, we're hungry and we want some more food. The second thing is asking the body, what does it want? It's not a matter of going around the house and rummaging through cabinets and refrigerators and just finding something. It's a matter of kind of listening and seeing if the body doesn't give you a clue. And it might say something like, hey, we're craving something kind of salty sour. Like, okay, good. So what do I have that's salty sour? Then maybe you can go and look in the cabinets and you can look at the refrigerator and see. And maybe you have a small jar of cherry peppers sitting in the cabinet that you bought a few months ago. And you look at them and the body goes, ooh. And you look at them and you go, ooh, guess what you should be eating? Well, have some cherry peppers. And then eat again what you want, when you want it. So who cares if it's 11:30 at night and you're craving cherry peppers? Eat the cherry peppers. And then eat as many as you like and then get ready for bed and you did it right. So that's the trick. Try that. Give yourself about 7 days of eating what you want, when you want it, and see if you're not down a few pounds after a week from watching this video. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.